Good morning, friends, and welcome back to Creation Station. In today's video, we're going to be making an intermediate level formula. This is our Snow Kissed Cream Cleanser Makeup Remover, and this should be coming out the week of Thanksgiving. I have went ahead and did a whole bunch of different filming and formulas prior to my surgery, which is scheduled for December 1st, because then I will be in a sling for 6 weeks, just like last year. Those of you that have been following me for a long time remember that. So I'm trying to get ahead of the game, and I'm doing pretty well so far. But without further ado, let's just get right into today's formula, shall we? As always, we're going to be starting off with our distilled water. Let me turn this all the way up to high. All right, we're going to be starting off with our distilled water, like I said, and this is our base, right? This is what's going to give the cleanser its fluid structure, and it's going to help dissolve all of our water-soluble ingredients. So to that, well, let's just put that aside actually first, because I want to make my slurry out of my glycerin and my xanthan gum. So the glycerin is a humectant. It's going to help draw moisture into the skin, and it helps keep the cleanser feeling soft and hydrating instead of tight and squeaky. And to that, we're going to be adding some xanthan gum. I'm choosing xanthan gum clear today, and this is our structuring agent. It's going to keep the cleanser from separating. It's going to give that creamy, rich body that we want without making it feel like really heavy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add the xanthan gum to the glycerin and make that slurry. And then we just set that off to the side while we're incorporating all the rest of the ingredients into our water beaker. All right, give that a good mix. All right, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and put that aside momentarily. Something else that I wanted to go ahead and pre-disperse and go ahead and just let that sit for just a second or two while we're doing everything else. I'm going to go ahead and mix some titanium dioxide into the propanediol. So I'm adding this, the touch of titanium dioxide, for that pretty kind of snowy white color. It's going to give the cleanser a soft, luminous look, which is going to be totally on theme to try to get that snowy effect. And I'm going to be mixing that into propanediol. So this is another humectant, but it's going to give our formula that silky glide, and it helps boost the performance of our preservative system. So I'm going to go ahead and just mix the titanium dioxide in there and let that sit, just to prevent like some of the clumping. I find that this works relatively well. Those of you that are soap makers as well, you know what I'm talking about with the white specks of titanium dioxide. So we try to minimize that as much as we possibly can. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set that aside too, just like the glycerin slurry. Okay, so now that those two things are set aside, let's move on. We're going to be adding some pentylene glycol, and this is a nice multitasker. It's a humectant as well as an antimicrobial booster. It's going to help keep the formula preserved naturally while giving it a nice cushiony slip. So we're going to add that right into our water beaker. It doesn't matter that I'm getting titanium dioxide all in here because it's going to go in here anyhow. All right, after the pentylene glycol, we're going to be adding some sodium gluconate, and this is our chelating agent. It's going to grab onto any trace metals that could destabilize the formula or affect the color. So this is going to keep everything nice and smooth and stable. All right, our next ingredient is going to be allantoin, and we are adding this for its soothing properties. It's great for calming the skin, especially in a cleanser where we want hydration and comfort and not irritation. I try to use allantoin in most of my water-based formulations. All right, that's mixed in pretty good. So let's go ahead and add that slurry that we made with the propanediol and the titanium dioxide. Just going to add that right in. And our next ingredient is going to be our mild surfactant. And this is our caprylyl glucoside. This is a very gentle cleanser. It's plant-based surfactant that helps lift away the makeup and dirt. It's going to create a tiny hint of foam, but it keeps the formula non-stripping. All right, now that we have all of our water phase into this beaker, with the exception of that glycerin, I'm going to add that in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and weigh this entire vessel, and I'm going to write down that number so that we can add more water that we're going to lose from evaporation. All right, perfect. Set that aside. Going to go ahead and put a little tin foil on the top of that. Set that aside. Now we're going to start working on our oil phase, starting off with sweet almond oil. Okay, so this is our main emollient. Sweet almond oil is going to add slip and softness so that when you rinse, your skin's going to feel smooth and conditioned. To that, we're going to be adding some caprylic capric triglyceride. This is a lightweight ester. It's going to help to keep the cleanser silky and helps it to rinse away clean without leaving a greasy feel. This is one of my favorite texture enhancers. Okay, after that, we are going to be adding some squalane. This actually mimics our skin's natural oils. This is going to help reinforce the skin barrier and give that velvety finish without heaviness. Next, we're going to be putting in some cetyl alcohol. And this is a fatty alcohol. It's going to help to thicken the formula and make it feel nice and creamy and elegant. After that, we're going to be putting in some cetearyl alcohol. And this is going to pair really nicely with that cetyl alcohol to stabilize the emulsion. Together, the both of those are going to create that beautiful lotion-like texture that we're after. And then we're going to add some glyceryl stearate SE. This is our emulsifier. It's going to allow the oil and water to come together into a smooth, stable cream. It's what turns everything into that perfect emulsion. Next ingredient is PEG7 glyceryl cocoate. This is another mild cleanser, and it's also a refatting agent. It's going to help melt away the makeup while leaving the skin feeling moisturized. It works perfectly with our glucoside. Okay, our next ingredient is dimethicone, and that's going to add a silky protective finish. It reduces drag and makes the cleanser glide beautifully across the skin. And our last ingredient in our oil phase is going to be our vitamin E. Of course, this is our antioxidant. I'm adding this so that it can help protect the oils in our formula from oxidation. It's also going to give a subtle conditioning boost to the skin. All right, and we are ready to go ahead and add our water phase as well as our oil phase to our water bath right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'll bring you guys back when we are ready to combine everything. Okay, our oil and water phase is all ready to go. Our oils are all melted down here. We're going to go ahead and weigh this vessel again, and we're going to add back in some of the water that we lost to evaporation. Okay, not really all that much, 0.86 grams. So I'm going to be adding in some distilled water. Perfect. We are ready to start combining these two phases. Okay, let's go ahead and get that glycerin slurry into the mix, the glycerin and the xanthan gum. You can see the really nice snowy color of the water phase. It's not too much, just enough to give it like that wintry kind of vibe. Give that a nice good stir. Let that xanthan gum start swelling and hydrating a little bit. And let's go ahead and add our oil phase. Just going to mix by hand just for a little bit, have this start cooling down, and then I'm going to switch over to a little teeny small little mixer. You could go ahead and put this on your overhead stand if you have one. I didn't feel like breaking that out today for just a small little batch of this, though that does help to cool down the emulsion so you can get to the cool down phase faster, because I am going to have to let this sit. It's quite hot right now. I'm just going to stir it just for a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for a little bit, let it cool down. Then I'll go ahead and get in there with the little hand mixer. Then we will add our preservative and our fragrance, and that'll be that. Okay, guys, I'll bring you back when we're ready. Okay, our temps have come down a little bit. Still have a ways to go yet, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over now to just a little handheld mixing utensil here. This is great for really small batches when I don't feel like bringing out my big immersion blender. All right, we are there. Let me go ahead and add our preservative. So I'm going to be using Euxyl PE 9010, which is a combination of phenoxyethanol and ethyl hexyl glycerin. And together, those are going to work to keep the cleanser safe and stable without impacting the skin feel. So let's go ahead and get that into the mix. Okay, and our very last ingredient is going to be our fragrance oil. And today I'm going to be using a dupe of angel wings. So very small little touch of this, okay? So it's going to give a really nice, soft, clean, winter fresh scent. It's going to be subtle and comforting, just like a snowfall in the morning. I love the smell of this. Just a very little bit though. You can certainly leave this unscented if you'd like. A lot of people don't like putting fragrances in facial products, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to. I don't even wear makeup, but I've had a lot of requests for a nice, gentle, cleansing makeup remover. So here it is. Both of my daughters do wear makeup. All right, one final little buzz here, and then we'll be ready to pour. Oh, it smells so good, you guys. Oh, yeah. This is the perfect scent. Angel wings, perfect for this. Okay, that's going to do it. It's going to continue to thicken, obviously, as it continues to cool. But let's go ahead and start pouring this now. These are going to make perfect little gifts. I'm going to go ahead and keep that last one for myself because even though I don't wear makeup, it still is a beautiful cream cleanser. Okay, as I always do, I'm going to go ahead and leave these sit, and I'll bring you guys back and show you the finished product. Okay, you guys, it actually is the next day. I'm going to go ahead and show you what the texture looks like. It kind of squirts out of this type of a bottle, but this is the texture that you can look forward to. It's a very nice, light, thin lotion consistency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a little pen mark on the inside of my arm so you can see how this works. Because like I said, I don't wear makeup. I don't have makeup. So I'll put some pen on there and just go ahead and rub it in, and you can see already how fast that's vanishing. It's taking it right off. Now, obviously this is not the same as having mascara, you know, but it is a pen. So there you go. Wipes away completely clean. If you wind up making this for yourself, let me know down in the comments section below what you thought about it and how it worked for you. If you would like the full written PDF with instructions plus extra little formulation sheets that I always throw in, this will be available up on my Patreon at the intermediate maker level. From here at our lab bench at Creation Station, Mr. and Mrs. Soap Chef would like to wish you all
a happy Thanksgiving.